got people from the Philadelphia Eagles running around talking to all the different coaches and GMs, trying to convince them that they shouldn't ban this play, laying out all the reasoning. And the big thing you need to know about this is the people that are opposed to it have been saying that it's due to the fact that it's the safety of the players is the concern, but there's no data to back it up at this point, right? So people like Philadelphia are going, well, there's no data here. So what are we talking about? Is it just because you think the play is ugly? Sean McVay came out publicly and said that that's his reasoning. So in the end, after all the campaigning, it really did feel like a political campaign for the last 3 days in Florida. When it came down to it, the votes, it was essentially 16-16. It was even. So they decided, and it's a straw vote at that point. So they decide then to just table this thing. And that is just nothing but bad news for Philadelphia. Because essentially what they're going to do is Green Bay, the team that proposed it, is got to be the team that rewrites the language. They're going to rewrite this thing in a way that doesn't look so specific to this one play to Philadelphia. So it's going to look and sound a little bit more like the quarterback sneak. So this is going to be a way for them to get this banned. So in my opinion here, Colin, I think the days of the tush push are over. I don't think we're going to see that play allowed in the NFL anymore, just based on the conversations I'm having and just the fact that they tabled it. And look, at the end of the day, when owners know that the commissioner, Roger Goodell, does not like something, it tends to push them in one direction. And that's in favor of what Roger Goodell wants.
This is such a disgrace. I thought I was done with these tush push videos because I'm all tush pushed out, man. I made a lot of videos kind of giving all those breakdowns, and there's only so much more that I could say. But as I was trying to, queue up clips, I saw this and I go, okay, well, what does she have to say? And she has more inside information on this, and so I was curious kind of what her thoughts were. And she's saying the quiet part out loud. Like, they're just lying and saying, oh, this is player safety issue, but yet there's no reason to believe that at all, which we've talked about a lot. And Roger Goodell just doesn't like this play. And, Sean McVay is like, well, I just think it's ugly. It's like, okay. A play that they do like twice, twice a game, if that. It's just a disgrace. I mean, seriously, I mean, it really, really is. Again, if this was a play that all the teams were doing and they were doing it a ton, 5-6 times a game, then I could understand, because that fundamentally changes the viewing experience of watching an NFL game. But what the Eagles do and how they do it, it does not have that impact. If anything, it adds some extra excitement and some intrigue and some interest into the game. People are interested, like, what is this play that the Philadelphia Eagles that is so dominant? And they talk about Jalen Hurts being able to squat 600 plus pounds and how massive the O-line is for the Philadelphia Eagles, etc., etc., etc. There's some buzz about it, and it's just the fact that these teams are now working against to ban a play that the Eagles have perfected, that the Eagles have used to their advantage to try to stop them. It's just the definition of an absolute disgrace. That's what it gets boiled down to. Because these other teams, the owners, etc., they're not. It's like that they think it's ugly. They just don't want the play there. They don't like it because they know how dominant it is and they can't stop it. And so they don't like it. And so then that's why they're trying to use injury as an issue. And now then the fact that they tabled it, because that is what they're going to try to do. That's what I'm saying. They didn't have the votes. And so then they're like, okay, well, let's table it. It's like, no, you didn't have the votes. So you can't, doesn't pass. But now they're like, no, we're going to table it. And they're going to try to get the votes, and they are going to rework the language. And someone said it earlier in the comment section in one of the previous videos. They were like, "Oh man, this is gonna make Philly so angry." They were like, "Thank you for doing this, because now the Eagles are gonna be so much more fired up, etc., etc." And I agree with that too. and I think they'll still be aggressive even if they can't do the tush push, and they'll still find ways to work around it. But then, like someone said, and this is just the stupidity around this conversation. Oh, because of the tush push, they've been able to go to 2 Super Bowls, and it's ridiculous. They're not even that good. Without the tush push, they wouldn't have even made the playoffs. And it's just like such a stupid comment, because they didn't have the tush push in 21 and they went to the playoffs. They didn't have a tush push in 2017, 2018, and they won a Super Bowl. They've won the second most playoff games since 2000, the last 25 years, which is something that I say all the time because it's the reality. So stop acting like the Philadelphia Eagles just came out of nowhere. They've been a top team in the NFL for 25 years. For 25 years. That's what happens. That's how it works. So they didn't just come up with the tush push and magically that made them something. Okay? It's not how this came about. They have an elite roster with an elite coaching staff, elite ownership, elite GM. Like, that's how these things unfolded. So it's just so insane. And when people want to try to, compare it to like other rules in the past that were changed, stuff like that, like, no. Some of those other rules were changed because of like a singular event, a singular incident, something that people were kind of like, ooh, this feels weird. Like this probably shouldn't be what this is, or this is too confusing, whatever. Like the overtime rules, like that was just bad football. To see this insane game go back and forth, this epic shootout between Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and to have Josh Allen not even touch the ball in overtime, that's just bad football. That's bad entertainment. So changing the rule in that moment makes sense. Makes sense. The fact that they tried to change the rule to be able to flag, to review pass interference, because that was like one of the most insane calls in like the history of the NFL with that pass interference with what was it? The Saints versus I forget who the other team was at this point now. I totally slipped my mind, but like it was insane, and like that literally changed everything for that team. Changed everything. And so they're kind of like, oh God, we gotta like try something here because this is bad. This is bad optically. There's nothing fundamentally bad about what the Philadelphia Eagles do. Like, that's the thing. Yes, if the Philadelphia Eagles did this every single drive, every single play, and they did it 20 times a game, and it really was just so unstoppable that you're just like, this is just not fair. They scored 3 touchdowns because they did the tush push 15 times. Then I would say, yeah, that's a problem. That's ugly. That's wrong. That's kind of a manipulation of the rules. And even if it's not against the rules, it's still, just not good. So yeah, I would be all for it. That's not how this unfolded. That's not at all how this unfolded. So that's the insanity of it. That's the ridiculousness of it. And I've been so clear and consistent with it. If they did this a million times, nonstop, every single drive, and if they did it where other teams started doing it and they were successful, and now every team's doing it 5, 6, 7, 8 times a game, then I would say, yeah, let's ban it. This doesn't feel right. But other people are saying, well, they're doing this now so that doesn't happen. You still don't get it. The reason why they can do this play is unique to the Philadelphia Eagles. It's unique because their O-line is so massive. It's not just that they're a great O-line, it's that they're so massive and so physically strong and imposing. It's not a matter of just being a great O-line. Otherwise, the Broncos would be able to do it. There's plenty of other teams that have great O-lines. Josh Allen is an absolute monster. The Bills have a great O-line. They could not do it at the high enough rate relative to the Eagles. So it is unique, more specific to the Eagles, which is why it is a targeted ban against them. You really, really think that the other teams, when they saw this play in 22, you don't think that every single team said, how do we redo this? Especially in 23 in their own practices, whatever. And then same thing in 24. Every single team has tried that, attempted it, tried to see, does it work? And the answer is no. The answer is no. And there's nothing more boring than an extra point field goal at the end of a game. So don't tell me it's about entertainment. Not at the end of the game, after a touchdown. There's nothing more boring than that. To this day, I still barely half watch a field goal. It's usually like if it's a miss, you're like, oh my God, how do you miss that? Like that's only the time it becomes like, otherwise, you're like, yeah, all right, made it, let's go. The only time extra points are exciting is that in the playoffs when you feel like, oh my God, every point matters. That's like the only time. Otherwise, you're like, I don't care. You better make it. And if you don't, oh my gosh, what the heck is wrong with you? But like, don't act like people are watching an extra point and they're like, come on, baby. Knock that through. Let's go. That's not what happens. But when the Eagles set up for a tush push, you are. It's 4th and 1. You were on your edge of your seat being like, oh, come on, don't stop it. Come on, get through. There's anxiety. There's intensity. When you're going for it on 4th and 1 on your own 40, even no matter how dominant the Eagles are at it, you still don't know. And then when they do stop it, you're like, oh my gosh, how'd they stop that? There's been some big epic stops against the Eagles for the tush push. And there were big momentum shifts, big energy. That's excitement. You don't get that for a missed extra point. That never happens. So get rid of the extra point. You care about entertainment? No more extra points. Everything is just 2-point conversions. Or do what like the UFL or whatever the heck they do, where I think like, I honestly don't know because I don't watch those games, but I think you can like, you know, you have like the options where you go further and further back for like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point or something. Like I said, I don't really know, but do that then. Go do that. That's entertainment now. Everyone's going to still be watching that because there would be a huge difference between converting a 2-point conversion and not. Like that would have true, consistent, measurable influences on a game and entertainment. So go do that. Don't tell me that you just don't like something because it's ugly, boring, or, you know, et cetera, because that's nonsense. Don't tell me that it's about injuries because you would change other rules in the football game that actually lead to concrete injuries. So stop it. Stop with the nonsense. It's just so absurd. And I love how people just make stuff up and say, oh, well, they could just do it every time. They get 2-3 yards and they could just do it every single time and they're just going to score touchdowns. What's stopping them? First off, they don't do that, number one. Number two, they can't do that. And number three, under this logic, running backs like Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, etc., who are averaging 4, 5, 6 yards a carry, they should just run the ball every time. I know they should just run the ball every time. Majority of the time, they get positive yards. They get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards, like almost every time. So just do that every single down. Every single down, you never get off the field. You convert every 3rd and 4th down. You score a touchdown every time. Go do that. Just run the ball every single time. Go do it. Like, that's how stupid people sound when they say that. Go do it. It's not the way how things work. It just doesn't make sense like that. So some of those arguments are just kind of like, they're just made, it's just made up. But I do feel as though that it's going to get banned. And I do think it'll fire up the Philadelphia Eagles and how they use that to unite them and excite them. I think it will. I think it's going to be fascinating. It'll change their style of the offense. I still think they'll be aggressive. Make no mistake about it, the Philadelphia Eagles were one of the first teams to like actually legitimately be aggressively, consistently going for it on 4th downs. They're part of why that's become so much more commonplace for going for it on 4th down. So you're welcome. You know, you go thank Philadelphia Eagles fans and the Philadelphia Eagles for making football more exciting. Occasionally on NFL Network will show like some old games, and it's brutal, man. It's like 4th and 2, automatic punt, automatic field goal, and you're just like, go for it. Come on, you're at the 30. It's 4th and 1. You're kicking a field goal. It's completely changed football. It's improved football. It's made football way more fun, way more exciting, way more interesting. And now you also actually like it even makes it more fun at home because you have to try to figure out, I don't know, do we just kick a field goal here? Should we score it? Should we try to go for it? Like it's thought provoking. It makes you think more. It's more entertainment. More options for the defense to have a big impact play, you know, to get better field position. It's all fascinating now. The Eagles are a big reason for that. A huge reason for that. So, you know, they've always been ahead of that. Crazy, man. Diana Rossini dropping some fun information. I understand. This will be my last point. I do understand that if you're from any other team, you want this play banned. I get it. I really, really do. Because you're kind of just like, There's no actual rules in love and war, man. There's really not. It's just like, yeah, whatever. Everybody just tries to do whatever they can to win. And they don't care how they do it. Do you think for a second that the Kansas City Chiefs, let's say Jalen Hurts went down and A.J. Brown went down and Devontae went down and Fangio had the flu and you know, Kellen Moore got sick as well and none of those guys were there and the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Eagles. Do you think for a second they would be like, man, that wasn't a real win? Like, half their team got injured. They'd be celebrating, throwing a parade. Everybody would be talking about, oh, the first team ever to three-peat. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You just get the win no matter how you can get it. Doesn't matter. And that's why that whole, you know, no excuses. I don't care how many injuries you have. No excuse. Like, that's where kind of where that's come from. Because it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. If you can ban a play that helps another team, even if people say, oh, that's not really, you know, in the spirit of competition, doesn't matter, whatever. Injuries. Yeah, but there's no injuries. Yep, injuries. There's a way for us to do this logistically behind the scenes. We'll do it. We'll do it. And this happens in every league, every industry, every profession, everywhere. We've seen it. We've seen the stories of Amazon and Facebook and Google. You know, we see it all the time in real time. We see it in politics. We see it in sports. We see it in Major League Baseball. We see it in the NBA. We see it in the NFL. We see it in Formula One. We see it in in cycling. You know, the Tour de France. You see it everywhere you go. You naturally start to cheat as a little kid in school. No one has to teach you what cheating is. But you naturally kind of have wandering eyes and you naturally know, oh, that girl's really smart. What does she have on there? I'm not looking. I'm just, my neck, my neck. Okay, B, got it. No one teaches you how to do it. No one's like, hey, did you know that you could like kind of look at someone else's test? It's just human nature. But we're supposed to create institutions that protect against that type of stuff. Guess not. Guess not. Gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting. Being able to go for it on fourth downs has transformed football to make it so much more infinitely more exciting and more stressful, more energizing. And if you start to change these rules in a way where now you're going to get rid of that, then again, you have to get rid of the QB sneak. You're going to have to get rid of a lot of different things. And yeah, you're going to fundamentally change the viewing experience again. And not necessarily in a positive way. So it's a bunch of hot garbage. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? I've said this in every single video, and I guess I'll just say it again. About this truly, 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 truly never-ending conversation around the Tush push. Unbelievable. Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.